Hello there. Well, it's December's manic. I'm trying to get my Christmas radio show bit sorted. Hello, Mr. Snowman. But this has arrived, and you might know what it is. I have not had a chance to open it yet. It's been one of those crazy couple of weeks, but here it is. The Now Yearbook 1980 to 1984. I'm not a lover of the Amazon packaging. It looks a bit cockeyed to me, that, but you know what? And I bought the last couple from HMV, if you remember. But I've been looking forward to this. There's a lot of tracks on there that obviously we didn't get on the Now Yearbooks and the extra versions as well. So I'm going to go through it. As I say, it does look a bit. I'm going to put it like that. You see what I mean? It's not quite. So it's obviously how it's just been sent, and it's just one of those things. I'm sure it'll play absolutely fine. I've been listening to the Now Yearbook 83 and Extra again this week, just revisiting them, and I tell you what, I've absolutely enjoyed it. Just songs like From Roman Holiday, the Joe Boxers, Things You Forget, Nick Hayward. So I've been really enjoying the 83 release, and I've been putting that back on, especially as my iPod has broke. So I've been relying on the CDs in my car when I've been out and about as well. So finally got into it now. Who's up to date with the old releases? I have actually been proactive and pre-ordered the 85 Extra as well, and we'll be doing a full review of that. But here it is. If you haven't got it already, this is the Now Yearbook 1980 to 1984. So I'll just show you the side there, like that. Okay. I suspect when we get to Now Yearbook 1989, we will get an 85 to 89. I will do a video previewing what I think will be the releases for 2023. I didn't quite get it right for 2022. We certainly didn't see 1986. I imagine we're going to get that quite early in 2023. So if I open it up, you get the style that we're all accustomed to now there. So I went for the standard edition again. I know a lot of you went for the special edition as well. They've been popular, but I've stuck to the standard editions, to be honest, which perhaps makes it a bit more affordable, especially as they're coming out quite frequently. But let's go through the tracks. Let's see what I thought. And so it's took a while, but here we are, 18th of January, and finally getting round to recording the review for the Now Yearbook 80 to 84. And of course, the extra version of this is on its way. I'll try and go through predictions of what I think we'll see this year in just a moment. But let's have a look at disc 1. So we start off with Wham! Freedom, released on the 13th of October 1984, number 1 for 3 weeks, and it spent 14 weeks in the charts. It's a great opener. It's a brilliant song. Then we've got the Eurythmics, Annie Lennox and Dave Stewart with Love Is a Stranger. That was released on November the 20th, 1982. Reached number 6, again, spent 4 weeks in the UK charts. We then got a strange one from 1981, Laurie Anderson, Oh Superman. It's a very long song as well. Released October the 17th, 1981, and reached number 2, would you believe it? Spent 6 weeks in the UK charts. We then got Kate Bush, Sat in Your Lap, released on July the 11th, 1981. Reached number 11. Spent 7 weeks in the UK charts. I'm still convinced that she's Otter in The Masked Singer, but you have to tell me if you agree on that. Just sounded like her on Saturday, I thought. We didn't get Running Up That Hill in the 1985 releases. Maybe we'll get them in the, maybe the licenses and things will be cleared for the 85 to 89 chapter. Maybe they're saving it for that. We then got the Smiths, What Difference Does It Make? Released on January the 28th, 1984, reached number 12, 9 weeks in the charts. We've got Scritti Politti, Absolute, released June the 9th, 1984, reached number 17 and spent 11 weeks in the UK charts. We then got a great tune, Bronski Beat, Why? Released September the 22nd, 1984, reached number 6, spent 12 weeks in the charts. Sade, then with When Am I Going to Make a Living? You might not be familiar with this one. Released May the 26th, 1984. It only got to number 36 in the charts, and it only spent 5 weeks in the UK charts. A previous chart hit, of course, was Your Love Is King. That was in February. That had got to number 6 just a few months earlier. What surprised me when I was going through the research for this, though, is how some of the songs weren't in the charts for long, not many weeks at all. We then got Tom Robinson, War Baby, released on the 25th of June 1983, got to number 6, 9 weeks in the charts. Robert Wyatt, Shipbuilding. I don't think I was familiar with this one. Released May the 7th, 1983. Only got to number 35, spent 6 weeks in the charts. One of my favourites from disc 1 has to be Spandau Ballet, Round and Round. I love that one, very underrated Spandau Ballet song. Released on December the 8th, 1984, so you had Band-Aid in the charts at the same time. Only got to number 18, spent 8 weeks in the charts. We then got Roxy Music, Take a Chance With Me, released on September the 25th, 1982, reached number 26, spent 6 weeks in the charts. Avalon is a brilliant album, absolutely brilliant album from start to finish. We then got The Police, not Sue Lawley, as you might misinterpret, So Lonely. Released on February the 16th, 1980, reached number 6, spent 10 weeks in the charts. We then got The Specials with Nelson Mandela, released on March the 17th, 1984, Special AKA, of course, reached number 9, spent 10 weeks in the charts, and it was re-released in July 1988 and again in 2013. We then got a nice tie-in. We got Fun Boy 3 following that with Our Lips Are Sealed. It was their last chart hit, released on April the 30th, 1983. Got to number 7, spent 10 weeks in the charts. We then got Elton John's Kiss the Bride from Too Low for Zero. What an album that is. We'd had The Fox and Jump Up, which were kind of like mediocre albums, if you like, for Elton John commercially. But Too Low for Zero was Elton back at his best, really. And I remember a colleague that's long passed away now, David Booth, that used to love this album, and he raved about it. And you know what, David, I do keep the flag flying about this album. It is a great album. It reached number 20, Kiss the Bride, 7 weeks in the charts. Billy Joel then, The Longest Time from An Innocent Man, again a superb album. This was released on the 21st of April 1984, reached number 25 and spent 9 weeks in the UK charts. Neil Diamond, Love on the Rocks from the Jazz Sing soundtrack, released on the 15th of November 1980, got to number 17 and spent 12 weeks in the charts. Then we've got Paul McCartney, We All Stand Together, you know that one, the Frog song, of course, released on the 24th of November 1984. So again, it was very competitive around the time that Band-Aid was released. Got to number 3 and spent 20 weeks in the UK charts. On to disc 2, Bananarama, Na Na Hey Hey Kiss Him Goodbye, released on February the 26th, 1983, got to number 5 and spent 10 weeks in the UK charts. Adamant, I weren't familiar with this one, Desperate But Not Serious, released on the 27th of November 1982, got to number 33, spent 7 weeks in the charts. Great tune from 1981 next, Kim Wilde, Water on Glass, released on the 1st of August 1981, reached number 11, spent 8 weeks in the charts. Love it. You don't hear it often. Great tune. Toya continues the bit from 1981 with Thunder in the Mountains, released on the 3rd of October 81, got to number 4. I remember seeing the video on Top of the Pops in the repeats. 9 weeks in the UK charts. We then got Gary Newman, We Are Glass, released on the 24th of May 1980, got to number 5 and spent 7 weeks in the UK charts. Ultravox, Him, released on the 27th of November 1982, reached number 11 and spent 11 weeks in the charts. And then Blancmange, Living on the Ceiling. We finally get Living on the Ceiling. We didn't get it on the yearbooks, 1982. It was released on October the 30th, 82, and reached number 7. Spent 14 weeks in the charts, but a superb track, one of my favourites from 1982. We then got Talk Talk with Talk Talk. It was their debut chart hit, released on the 24th of April 1982. It only got to number 52, so if you don't remember it, that could be why. It only spent 4 weeks in the charts as well. Their next chart hit, Today, was released in July 1982 and would get to number 14, so we'll do a little better. We then got Orchestral Manoeuvres in the Dark with Tesla Girls, released on September the 8th, 1984, got to number 21, spent 8 weeks in the charts. Apparently, here in 2023, OMD are recording a new album. It's going to be out in this year, which is absolutely fantastic because their last album, The Punishment of Luxury, was superb. So I'm really looking forward to that. Track 10, Thomas Dolby, Hyperactive, released on the 21st of January 1984, reached number 17, spent 10 weeks in the charts. We then got Heaven 17, Crushed by the Wheels of Industry, released on September the 10th, 1983, got to number 17, spent 7 weeks in the charts. Simple Minds, Someone Somewhere in Summertime, released on the 13th of November 1982, got to number 36 and spent 5 weeks in the charts. Soft Cell, Where the Heart Is, released on the 4th of December 82, got to number 21, spent 9 weeks in the charts. We then got The Human League, Louise. I wasn't familiar with this one, and I do like The Human League. Released on the 17th of November 1984, reached number 13, did quite well. Spent 10 weeks in the charts. Howard Jones, then, with Hide and Seek. Look out for my Howard Jones reviews on this YouTube channel. Released February the 18th, 1984. Got to number 12, spent 12 weeks in the charts. And as is often the case with these Now compilations, it's followed by, yes, you guessed it, Nick Kershaw, with Human Racing, released 15th of September 1984, got to number 19 and spent 8 weeks in the charts. Great tune at track 17, Thompson Twins, Lay Your Hands on Me. That was released on December the 8th, 1984, reached number 13, spent 9 weeks in the charts. Again, like so many songs we've had already on this compilation, it was in the charts at the same time as Band-Aid. We've then got track 18, Kajagoogoo, Hang On Now. Can't say I was familiar with that one either. Released on the 4th of June 1983. Got to number 13 though, and spent 9 weeks in the charts. And in case you didn't know, they had 2 tracks on Now One, Big Apple and Too Shy. Track 19, The Culture Club with the Medal Song, released on the 1st of December 1984, spent 6 weeks in the charts and got to number 32. So again, it was in the charts around the very, very busy Christmas 1984 period. Track 20, Tracy Ullman, Move Over Darling, released on the 3rd of December 1983. Reached number 8, spent 9 weeks in the charts. You can't beat a bit of Tracy Ullman. On to disc 3. You've got a bit of a rock start to it with Iron Maiden, Run to the Hills, released on the 20th of February 1982. Got to number 7, spent 10 weeks in the charts. Meatloaf, Modern Girl, released on the 6th of October 1984, reached number 17 and spent 11 weeks in the charts. Pretenders, Day After Day, released on September the 12th, 1981. Only got to number 45 and only spent 4 weeks in the charts. But their next chart hit would be I Go to Sleep. And that was released in November 1981 and would go to number 7. Rick Springfield next with Human Touch. Released on the 14th of January 1984 and reached number 23. Spent 7 weeks in the UK charts. We then got Laura Branigan with The Lucky One. Now, this was released on October the 6th, 1984, and only got to number 56. It spent just 3 weeks in the UK charts. There was 3 more chart attempts over here in the UK for Laura Branigan after this, but none of them would reach the top 75. Chicago next with Hard Habit to Break, released on the 27th of October 1984, reached number 8 and spent 13 weeks in the charts. Daryl Hall and John Oates, Say It Isn't So, released on the 29th of October 1983, only got to number 69 and spent 5 weeks in the charts. Tina Turner, Better Be Good to Me, released September the 15th, 1984, reached number 45. Didn't remember this one. Spent 5 weeks in the charts. Then we've got The Fix, One Thing Leads to Another, released 1st of October 1983, reached number 86 and spent 3 weeks in the charts. We've got a bit of madness then. Grey Day, released on the 25th of April 1981, got to number 4 and spent 10 weeks in the charts. UB40, get us to track 11 with Cherry O Baby, released on the 17th of March 1984, reached number 12, 8 weeks in the charts. Then we've got the Style Council, A Solid Bond in Your Heart, reached number 11, and it was released back on November the 19th, 1983. Spent 8 weeks in the charts. On to Joe Boxer's Just Got Lucky, released on the 21st of May 1983, reached number 7, spent 9 weeks in the charts. We then got the Go-Go's. Do you remember them? We Got the Beat. Now, this looks like it was released in the UK, but failed to chart back in 1981 from the research that I did. But it did reach number 2 in the US Billboard Hot 100, though. Hazel O'Connor next. D-Days. Again, a tune I remember standing out from the Top of the Pops repeats on BBC4. Great tune. Released on the 21st of March 1981, reached number 10, spent 9 weeks in the charts. We then got The Creatures, Miss the Girl, released April the 23rd, 1983, reached number 21 and spent 7 weeks in the charts. Track 17, The Jam, Just Who is the 5 O'Clock Hero, released July the 3rd, 1982, reached number 8 and spent 5 weeks in the charts. Track 18, U2 is 11 O'Clock Tick Tock, from 1980. Now, it didn't chart at the time of its original release, but it later did after subsequent U2 releases. For example, in January 1984, the song reached number 30 on the US Rock Albums and Top Tracks chart. And in 2020, the song reached number 69 in the Irish Singles chart after it was reissued for Record Store Day in commemoration of its 40th anniversary. But nothing really over here in the UK as such. Track 19, New Order, Everything's Gone Green, released October the 3rd, 1981, reached number 38, 5 weeks in the charts. Echo and the Bunnymen next with Silver, released April the 21st, 1984, reached number 30, 7 weeks in the UK charts. Then we've got The Associates, 18 Carat Love Affair, brilliant tune, that you might not be familiar with. Released August the 7th, 1982, got to number 21, spent 8 weeks in the charts. We then got a brilliant one again, Japan, Cantonese Boy, released May the 22nd, 1982, got to number 24 and spent 6 weeks in the charts. There is no denying there is some songs that you probably won't have heard of, but that's what I like about the yearbooks. And even now in January 2023, I've gone back to the first one I bought, the Now Yearbook 1983, and I've been listening to it again. And I'm going to go through them in the order that I bought them and just appreciate them. There is so many songs that I've only discovered thanks to these. One more disc to go. Lionel Richie starts off disc 4 with Running with the Night, released on December the 3rd, 1983, reached number 9, 12 weeks in the charts. We then got Donna Summer, Love is in Control, Finger on the Trigger, released on July the 10th, 1982, got to number 18, spent 11 weeks in the charts. Shalimar next with Friends, released on the 27th of November 1982, got to number 12, spent 10 weeks in the charts. The Pointer Sisters, I'm so excited, everyone knows that one. Released on October the 27th, 1984, reached number 11 and spent 11 weeks in the charts. I remember this song being used particularly in a limousine scene in Hot Shots Part D with Charlie Sheen. So there you go, it's funny how a film and you can remember the music. Flash in the Pan, Waiting for a Train, released May the 14th, 1983, reached number 7, 12 weeks in the charts. Kool and the Gang next with Fresh, released on the 24th of November 1984, reached number 11, spent 12 weeks in the charts. We then got Jeffrey Osborne with Stay With Me Tonight, which I wasn't familiar with, released April the 7th, 1984, reached number 18, 12 weeks in the charts. We then got a great period out for me. We've got the Temptations, Treat Her Like a Lady, which is a fantastic tune, one of the best on the CD for me, and it's great to have it. Released on the 17th of November 1984, reached number 12, 10 weeks in the charts. It's just a class act. Then we've got Link's Intuition, and I love disc 4 in particular, and it's because of songs like that. Released on the 7th of March 1981, got to number 7 and spent 11 weeks in the charts. Now, apparently there was a technician strike, I think, on Top of the Pops, and they could only have repeat performances and music videos. So Link's Intuition did quite well because of that, because they had a music video ready to go. But despite all that, it is a great tune. Animal Nightlife next with Mr. Solitaire, released on the 11th of August 1984, reached number 25, 13 weeks in the charts. We then got Modern Romance, Don't Stop That Crazy Rhythm. I love this. I hadn't heard it before, but I love it. And that's one example of discovering songs on the yearbooks. Released on the 7th of May 1983, got to number 14, 6 weeks in the charts. We then got Stars on 45, Star Sound with More Stars, their ABBA medley, And Stars on 45 Volume 2 was released. I think it's the one that was released on the 4th of July 1981, and it got to number 2 and spent 10 weeks in the charts. We then got one of my favourite Bucks Fizz songs, Piece of the Action. It was their follow-up song to Making Your Mind Up that, of course, won Eurovision. This was released on June the 6th, 1981, reached number 12, spent 9 weeks in the charts. I love their first album and I love this song. So it's great to have that. We then got F.R. David, Words, again a great tune, released on the 26th of March 1983, got to number 2, 13 weeks in the charts. Track 16 is Sheena Easton, When He Shines, released on the 2nd of May 1981, reached number 12, 8 weeks in the charts. And their next hit, of course, chronologically, would be for the James Bond film For Your Eyes Only. Have a look at my Sheena Easton reviews on this channel if you haven't already. Kenny Rogers is next with Coward of the County, released on the 26th of January 1980 and was number 1 for 2 weeks, 12 weeks in the charts. He was a great storyteller, Kenny Rogers, and this is a superb track. The Art Company next with Susanna. This song has grown on me over the years. It was a massive hit, kind of in Europe, and I just don't think it's perhaps suited to a UK audience, but it's grown on me. This was released on the 26th of May 1984, reached number 12 over here, and spent 11 weeks in the charts. We've then got another number 1, the Goombay Dance Band, 7 Tears, released on the 27th of February 1982. It was number 1 for 3 weeks and spent 12 weeks in the charts. And then the final track is Renee and Renato, Save Your Love, the Christmas number 1 from 1982. It was released on the 30th of October 1982 and was number 1 for 4 weeks. It spent 16 weeks in the charts. I love it. You know what? You either love it or hate it. I love it. So it's great to have Renee and Renato, which concludes the yearbook 80 to 84. It is a fantastic release. What do I think my predictions are for 2023? I think we're going to get 1986 announced next. I do think they'll focus on the latter part of the 80s this year. I do hope that we get 1978. I think that would be a great summer release. But I do think where we've got March to December still to be announced, and it would make sense if we see a pattern of 86, 86 extra, 87, 87 extra. And I think it will follow suit. I think we'll get to the end of the year, and I think we'll have got up to the end of the 80s. It would be brilliant if there is a pause for 1978, because 1978 is such a strong year for music. But I do think that we'll get to that period. I think we'll get to at least 1988 with the yearbooks, and I think we'll see 1978. We'll see if I'm right. Okay, that's it from me. The Now Yearbook 1985 Extra will be uploaded soon. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and check out the Talking Music playlist as well. Bye-bye.